Thank you very much for clicking on this video. I am so much happy to welcome you to this video. I urge you to watch this video from the beginning to end, and also urge you to practice this work over and over before you write your Waec 2026 practical chemistry exam. This is what I'm expecting this Waec to give us in question number 1 because of the type of acid they gave us. So I'm suspecting this a lot. So look at the question. Okay, what do we actually need in this question? If you look at it, they ask us first to find the concentration of solution B in gram per dm cube. I will be using PB as mass concentration of solution B. That's the question 1 of this question. So we need to know that concentration is the same thing as mass in gram over volume in dm cube. So the value they gave us, as you can see, is 250 centimeter cube. So we need to convert this 250 centimeter cube to decimeter cube by dividing it by 1000. So we will have something like this. But the mass given to us is 1 gram. So we are going to find the mass concentration of solution B. That is the concentration of solution B in gram per dm cube, which gives us 1 gram all over 0.250 dm cube, which will give us, this answers question 1 of this. Let's go for question 2. There are 2 ways of calculating this. We can calculate it by, first of all, getting the mole, then divide it by mole over volume. Or we can use the relationship between the concentration in mole per dm cube and concentration in gram per dm cube. Here I prefer to use the relationship between concentration in mole per dm cube and concentration in gram per dm cube. So we have it as, we already have the concentration in gram per dm cube. So let's go for the molar mass of the solute. Remember that Na is 23, H is 1, and O is 16. So we are going to have, that will give us, there's alternative to this. We can find the one, there's alternative to this. We can find the mole by saying 1 gram being given to us divided by 40, then totally divided by 0.250 to give us that. But I prefer this. So we have gotten question 1 and question 2. The next part is to calculate the number of moles in the solution used in the titration for solution A and solution B. Therefore, I can just say Na is equal to Ca times Va. But let's insert what we have. You may ask, why did I use over 1000? Because 11.95 centimeter cube needs to be converted to dm cube, and that is why I use over 1000. So my answer becomes, this is for the acid. So what about that of the base, the Nb? So for the base, we have it as Nb equals to Cb times Vb. So let's insert the values. Okay, the 0.1 comes from this comes from this. So we divide it by 1000 because this is in centimeter cube. This is mole per dm cube. So we need to make it to be in the same unit, and that is why I'm dividing it by 1000. You may wonder why I put this 0 here. This 0 here is because I am using 3 significant figures. If you look at it, they ask us to find the mole ratio of the acid to the base. So let's go back to the acid. Look at the acid here. The acid is 0.00123 mole. So we say for the acid, this is the mole we are trying to get. So what are we going to do here? Divide both sides by the least. That will give us approximately 2. So let me just use 2 for it. This is the ratio, 1:2. Now they ask us, find the basicity of the acid with reason. That answers the question.